This is Careers Cast, a podcast for students and early career professionals who want to develop a successful and meaningful long-term career in technology. I'm your host, Marcio Saito. Welcome to this second episode of Careers Cast, where we'll talk about careers in data science. In my last corporate role at Google, I led the organization responsible for technology behind support operations for Google consumer products. In that context, we had data scientists and data engineers developing models on customer behaviors to improve the performance of support systems and analyze data to provide decision makers with insights about the operation. Data science is a relatively new area, and while many schools are now offering a specific specialization, most people working in data science today have a background in related areas like computer science and statistics. Job titles and roles can vary widely depending on the company. Since leaving Google, I have talked to dozens of students and early career professionals, and the interest in data science careers is very high. So we picked data science as a topic of this second episode of Careers Cast. Next, I will play an AI-generated summary of what data science is and how to build a career around it. I'll return at the end to talk about how AI will affect data science. Now enjoy the overview.
So you're thinking about a data science career. It seems like it's everywhere these days.
It's definitely a hot topic.
Yeah, and you've clearly been doing your homework. We've got a stack of stuff here. You sent us articles, forum posts, even some course descriptions. Looks like you're really trying to figure out if this whole data science thing is for you.
Definitely a good time to be diving in. There's a lot of information out there.
There is, which can be overwhelming. That's what we're here for. Let's cut through the hype together and see what the reality of data science work is all about. Maybe we can even help you decide if it aligns with your goals.
Sounds good.
Okay, so before we get lost in the weeds of algorithms and Python, let's start with the basics. When someone says data scientist, what are they really talking about?
Well, at its core, data science is all about pulling useful knowledge out of data to solve problems, which is a pretty broad definition, I guess.
It does sound pretty broad. Like, how is that different from what a data analyst does?
Good question. So think about a detective at a crime scene. They're gathering evidence, looking for clues, right?
Okay, I'm with you.
A data analyst is kind of similar. They're collecting and organizing data, maybe using tools like SQL or Excel. They look for trends and patterns, basically, figuring out what happened.
Gotcha. So the data analyst is finding the what, but the data scientist...
Takes it a step further, yeah. Think of them more like a forensic scientist. They take that raw data, that evidence, and use their skills, stats, programming, even machine learning to dig deeper.
So uncovering not just what happened, but maybe why it happened and what might happen next T.
Exactly. They're looking for those deeper insights that can drive decisions.
Okay, now we're talking. And that's where those fancy algorithms and models come in, right?
Exactly. For example, a data scientist might build a model that can predict if a customer is about to jump ship to a competitor, or help a hospital use its resources better based on patient data.
Okay, now those sound like some pretty high-stakes problems they're tackling.
They can be.
But I'm guessing it's not all groundbreaking discoveries and eureka moments, right? Some of these Reddit threads you sent over paint a slightly different picture.
Oh, absolutely not. Not always glamorous, that's for sure.
One person even joked about being a data janitor because they spend so much time cleaning and prepping data before they can even analyze it.
Yeah, that's a common theme, actually. A lot of data scientists talk about that. You can have the most powerful algorithms in the world, but if your data is a mess...
Garbage in, garbage out, right?
And precisely.
So it sounds like a successful data scientist needs a good mix of curiosity and, resilience.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the technical skills you need, right mindset to handle those less than glamorous parts of the job.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of those technical skills, there are a few that pop up again and again in the data science world. Yeah, when we're talking technical skills, programming is definitely a must-have.
Makes sense.
Specifically, Python and R, those are the big ones you'll see everywhere.
Ah, yes, the classic data science duo. You're speaking my language, or at least the languages I'm trying to learn. What are the main differences between those two for someone who's, just starting to explore?
So Python is known for being super versatile, like a Swiss Army knife.
Okay, I like that.
It's got tons of libraries like Pandas for working with data and scikit-learn for building those machine learning models.
Handy?
Exactly. And then you've got R, which is really powerful for statistical analysis. It's been a favorite among researchers and statisticians for a long time.
So Python's the versatile all-rounder, and R is the stats specialist.
That's a great way to put it.
Cool, cool.
And of course, no matter what language you're using, you absolutely need to know your way around databases.
Right. Because data isn't always going to be handed to you on a silver platter.
Exactly. It often lives in these massive databases. That means being comfy with query languages like SQL essential stuff.
Okay, so you've got your Python, your R, your SQL.mo.
Mm-hmm.
You can wrangle data like a pro. But then there was that one Reddit comment that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
Something about having to convince their boss that their insights even mattered.
Oh, yeah, I remember that word.
So it's not enough to just be a data whiz. You've got to be able to communicate those findings effectively, too.
Communication is key, absolutely.
Otherwise, what's the point, right?
Totally. A data scientist needs to be a storyteller. They have to take these complex ideas, these patterns buried in the data, and present them in a way that anyone can understand, even if they don't know anything about statistics or algorithms.
So it's like being a translator almost, bridging the gap between the world of data and the people making decisions.
That's a perfect way to put it. And don't underestimate the importance of collaboration either. Data scientists rarely work in a bubble.
Right. It's a team effort.
Exactly. They're often part of bigger teams working alongside engineers, business analysts, people from all sorts of backgrounds.
So being able to work well with others, another crucial skill.
Absolutely. You're going to be bouncing ideas off each other, explaining your process, making sure everyone's on the same page.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've talked about the skills, both the technical side and those all-important soft skills. But what about the actual path to becoming a data scientist? We've got this mix of sources here. Some emphasize traditional degrees, others highlight these boot camps and online courses. It seems like there are a lot of different ways to break into this field.
You're right. The educational landscape for data science is pretty diverse these days. It's changing all the time, really.
Which I guess reflects how rapidly the field itself is changing. Right?
For sure. So some of the stuff you shared, like that piece from Harvard Extension School, really emphasizes the value of a formal degree.
Yeah, they talked about building a really strong theoretical foundation. Things like statistics, computer science, even calculus and linear algebra, which honestly makes my brain hurt a little thinking about it.
It can be intense, for sure.
It's been a while since I took a math class.
But they make a good point, about how that rigor helps you develop critical thinking skills and really understand those underlying principles of data science.
Yeah, so it's not just about memorizing formulas.
Right. It's about understanding the why behind the what.
Okay, so formal degrees, they can give you that solid base. But it's not the only way, right? You've also got these articles about boot camps and online courses, like this one from Simplilearn.
Right, and those have their own advantages. They tend to focus more on the practical side of things, the skills and tools you'll be using on the job day in and day out.
So you're learning by doing, getting hands-on experience.
Exactly, and that can get you job ready much faster, especially if you're thinking about switching careers.
So it's all about finding the right path for you based on what you want to do, how much time you have, your learning style, all of that.
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all approach here.
But one thing that seems to be universally important, regardless of what path you choose, is being able to demonstrate your skills with real-world projects.
100%. Employers want to see what you can do with those skills, not just that you have them listed on a resume.
Right. So it's not enough to just say you're fluent in Python.
Yeah.
You need to show them what you've actually built with it.
Exactly. Building a portfolio of data science projects is so valuable. Even if they're personal projects or contributions to open source stuff, it all adds up.
Like building your own data science resume piece by piece.
Exactly. And that kind of initiative, that willingness to learn and actually apply those skills to real problems, that's what really catches the eye of potential employers.
That's great advice. So you've got the skills, you're building that portfolio, but what's it actually like to work as a data scientist? These materials you shared paint a pretty diverse picture of the job market. Where do they actually work, and what kind of impact are they making out there in the world?
That's the really cool part, right? Data science is popping up everywhere. It feels like every industry out there is finding ways to use data to do things better, make smarter decisions.
It's everywhere you look.
It really is. Like healthcare, for example. One of these articles mentioned how data science is being used to create algorithms that can help doctors diagnose diseases earlier.
Wow, so we're talking about potentially life-saving stuff here.
Absolutely. And more accurately, too.
I bet that takes massive amounts of data. Patient info, medical record.
Oh yeah, we're talking huge data sets. And that brings up another big challenge for data scientists in healthcare data privacy.
Right, you can't just go crunching numbers without thinking about the ethical implications.
Exactly. Patient privacy is huge E. It's a constant balancing act, finding ways to use data to improve healthcare while protecting people's sensitive information.
Makes sense. It's not just about the numbers, it's about people.
100%. Okay, so we've got healthcare, huge applications there. But what about other industries? Business is another one that comes to mind.
Oh yeah, the business world seems to have really embraced data science. Customer analytics is a big one, right? Like using data to figure out what makes consumers tick.
Exactly. Companies want to understand their customers better than ever before. They're using data to personalize their marketing, to figure out the best pricing strategies, even to design better products.
It's like data science is giving them a crystal ball to see into the future of their market. Pretty amazing.
It's wild what they can do with data these days.
Okay, so we've got healthcare, we've got business. What about data science for the greater good, like in the public sector?
Oh, there's tons of cool stuff happening there, too. The Harvard Extension School piece talked about how cities are using data science to improve things like traffic flow.
Oh, interesting. So less time stuck in traffic jams.
That's the idea. They're using real-time data and predictive models to anticipate congestion and maybe even prevent it altogether.
That is so cool. So it's about making cities smarter and more efficient.
Exactly. And it goes way beyond traffic. We're talking about everything from crime prevention to disaster response, even optimizing those public transportation systems.
Wow, so it really is about using data to make life better for everyone on a larger scale.
That's the potential right there. And the coolest part, we're still just scratching the surface. As more data becomes available, as technology keeps advancing, who knows what we'll be able to do.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. So, to our listener out there who's been on this deep dive with us, hopefully this has given you a taste of what the world of data science is really all about. The good, the challenging, the potential. It's all in there.
It is.
If you're the kind of person who loves digging into data, who's always curious, who's not afraid of a little hard work.
And who wants to make a real difference, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then maybe data science is the path for you.
And remember, it's an ever-evolving journey. New tools, new techniques, new challenges popping up all the time.
It's never going to be boring, that's for sure.
So stay curious. Never stop learning and exploring what's possible.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This has been awesome. We've covered a ton of ground, but obviously there's always more to explore.
Always more to learn.
For sure. So to our listener, keep asking those questions, keep that curiosity alive, and most importantly, keep diving deep.
This is Marshall Saitobeck. I promise to give you my opinion on the impact of AI. Artificial intelligence based on large language models and other techniques are likely to emerge and become useful in the next few years. This will reshape the entire job market and will have a profound impact in our lives. Because data science is intimately related to creation of the models that drive AI, I expect some of the current jobs to become obsolete and exciting new opportunities to emerge. So a lot of efforts in data analytics today are dedicated to summarizing data and synthesizing data insights. We expect those roles to be replaced by AI tools. The increased use of AIs to drive most of human activity will create new job opportunities that are hard to imagine today. So data science is a promising and exciting career that will require the ability to adapt and change as technologies evolve. I hope this episode was useful to students and early career professionals looking to move into the exciting field of data science. If you felt so, please share this with a couple of your peers who might be considering the same. Thank you and see you in the next episode of Careers Cast. Bye.